You are now entering the box. Welcome back inside the box. Today we have a couple exciting guests here from Broadway Graham. We got Zach and Connor. Welcome, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for joining us today. Zach, you're owner, right? You started.
Correct.
Yep.
Owners of the firm.
Yeah. Why don't we start off? Just tell us a little bit about Broadway Graham for those who don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. So we opened our doors in May of 2020, right in the middle of a pandemic. Wasn't really the plan, but that just happened to be the case. And it all kind of started about 4 years before that, 3 or 4 years that we decided we were at another large firm here in town, and just decided we wanted to change. We wanted to do our own thing. We were kind of tired of being stuck with the proprietary technology and software that was given to us. And we said, look, we can make a few different changes here in town, or we can go all in and just do the full independent side, because there's a wide spectrum of ways to kind of do our business. And so there were 5 of us at the time that just went all in. And about 2 years before we made our move was a team retreat down in Nashville, Tennessee. We just so happened to be on Broadway, and that's kind of where that came in.
Okay.
That's where the naming kind of came from. So from that point on, it took about 2 years to do our due diligence on who we potentially wanted to partner with from a custodian standpoint, find real estate, create the name, do all the things that kind of go into it, because it's a huge risk, man. It really is.
Yeah,
to go,
a lot of work.
To make any type of move is a big risk, but for what we did, it was even more. But couldn't be more happy that we did it, and very blessed with all the success we had initially and continue to have kind of moving forward.
Nice,
so,
yeah.
It's good.
You from the Springfield area?
No, originally Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Followed a girl up here.
Nice.
So. She's my wife, and we had 2 kids, so that worked out. It worked out really well.
Wasn't a lost cause.
Right.
Connor, how'd you get involved with the business, or how long ago?
I'm 7 years in now. Hard to
Will
believe.
you pull that just a little bit closer? Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
But yeah, 7 years in now, so crazy. But I'd say back in high school, actually, I just enjoyed the stock market in general, kind of learning about it.
High school, really? Huh?
Yeah, and back in high school, Zach and Aaron were neighbors with my family. So
Oh, nice.
I actually got to know Zach and, stayed in touch with him through college, and he helped me get my start. And then
Very nice.
yeah, so definitely been a mentor to me, and then followed him to Broadway Graham, and yeah, it's been really fun just helping create the culture with the company, and the independent side has been really fun too, just because I really feel like we are involved in the community and building the business. As Zach said, it's a little stressful, but it's fun to have it in your own pocket per se.
Yeah. So what in high school, what was it that interested you about the stock market?
I don't know. We had.
Where'd you went to Chatham,
yeah,
right?
I went to Chatham. But Coach Garber, the cross country coach, he was one of my teachers, and he actually had a class where we had to create hypothetical portholes.
Really?
I think it was like on Yahoo or something like that.
That's cool.
So I just remember
We did not have anything like that.
in high school thinking, no, I'm gonna pick the next big time stock or whatever. So it was kind of fun, but that's probably when I got started into it.
Okay. That's interesting. It's just funny what people kind of go towards, you know what I mean? I actually started teaching myself graphic design in high school, and now we're here. So it's kind of nice when you find something that you're interested in and go into that,
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Were you interested in an early age, or what got you into the industry?
Always loved math, always a big, just love finance. I just love the changing markets, whether it's a different company or a different country, even like the different exchanges. So straight out of college, I was international finance and marketing. And straight out, I worked for a marketing firm in Chicago while my then fiance was finishing up. And so she got a job here in Springfield at our health system Memorial. And I came down kind of cold called because I was big into sales, door knocking, just had that sales, spirit or whatever. And so found a firm here in town that was willing to take the risk on me and started to build a book from there. But I think the biggest thing for me, just loving numbers, loving the finance aspect, and loving helping people and just working with different people. You know what I mean? I mean, our books of business and our practices are very diverse. I mean, we rarely turn clients away because we want to help as many people as we can, but it also makes it interesting. You know, one client is extremely different from the next, right? And so different conversations. But for us, it keeps us on our toes because we got to be educated and have the knowledge to help different clientele as well.
Yeah,
so
I can imagine.
Yeah,
everybody's just different industries that they work in, different family, like everything. I'm sure it makes a complete difference when you're starting to advise them on that.
100%.
Yeah, I kind of got into this. I didn't really start looking at stocks and mess with stocks. I think it was like after college, maybe. I just started thinking about it, and I actually ended up buying a decent amount of Monster stock because I was just looking at stuff that I knew about. And, and Monster
slamming energy drinks.
Yeah, I was like, man, I drink these things all the time, and then just looking around at what was going on and how they were blowing up, and I actually did really well on it for a long time. I don't have any now, but
Thing's massive.
Yeah, I think if you look at the last 20 years of which are the top performing stocks, I think Monster is number 1 or 2 actually.
Yeah,
still really still.
Great choice.
You still hold it? You still hold it, or
no? I sold it off a few years ago. I don't know. It felt like there was so much competition, and it just felt like it was falling off a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I still don't know how they got so big. Their original drink was not that good.
Yeah.
Like just the plain black one with the green
Right.
M. You know, I was like,
Well, it goes back to marketing. So.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's really what it was. And you know, I was into like snowboarding and all that stuff, so just saw a lot of sponsorships. I just liked watching all the different things that they were branding on, and sponsoring.
For sure.
So how long has Broadway Graham been in business now?
So about 4.5 years.
4.5
May
years?
of 2020.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys got a beautiful place.
Yes. Yeah. Very blessed. That was actually one of Kim's staff's first kind of design.
Yeah.
And implementing her design. And so she was very, very helpful with that because we really took that thing down to the studs. I mean, it was the old Henderson Eye Care Center. So it was very, small exam rooms, and we kind of thinking about making it work. Like, no, let's just blow this thing out and make it our own. So very, very proud of our offices.
I remember coming over there doing a video for staff, and I think it was the first time we met. But I was like, man, this place is awesome.
Yeah.
That was quite a while. That was a few years ago.
Yep. We've expanded too, so it's kind of like a horseshoe. So when you go in, it was initially that way, and we built offices to the right. So looking to grow. We've added some advisors along the way. I think I said earlier we started with 5 of us. Now we're up to 12 total.
Wow.
So a couple different offices and a couple of advisors that kind of work from home, but within our office here in town, continuing to grow within that space too.
Yeah. Now I saw on your website you have quite a few testimonials, but they're from all over the country. Mm-hmm. How do you go about just people recommendations, or how do you go about getting these people from all different?
Yeah, I would just say, and we're pretty well spread out now too as Broadway Graham. Yeah, we're local here in Springfield, but we do have advisors across the country now. But it goes back to relationships too.
Yeah.
You maybe meet people here in town that move, and then continue to work with us. That's the nice thing. We're not just tied to Illinois or working in Illinois. We really do stretch, and I would say it does come to relationships for the most part.
Yeah.
How's that work? Do you have to have like a license in different states also? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We do. And I think kind of one positive that came from COVID, if there was one, was maybe forcing people to have to use technology, right? And so people got, whether they wanted to or not, very acclimated with Zoom, WebEx, whatever it is. And so, I mean, some of our largest clients are all across, Florida, Tennessee, California. So, it really makes it easy when you have technology. And we go see them in person too. But it's nice that we're able to meet face to face or talk through things whenever they need to and have those reviews.
For sure.
Yeah.
In this book, Leveling Up, that I've been reading in this, I got asked to be part of this emerging leaders group and reading this book called Leveling Up in it. And they're talking about like just growth, self-growth. And, it was like, a lot of people don't want to like learn new things. And one of the things they said was like, you were basically forced to during COVID, otherwise you didn't have a job.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
So what, you talked about some different technologies that maybe the old place wasn't using that you wanted to implement and stuff like that. What are some of those like unique technologies that help with this? I know there's a lot of AI stuff now. Do you guys leverage that a lot, or? Yeah,
we're starting to look into AI, especially for note taking.
Yeah.
As you know, notes are very tedious. It can
For
take
sure.
a while. So, yeah, AI is definitely advancing the technology, and us being independent is nice because we can shop the whole entire market, you know, as long as
Not
it's, as
stuck
long as
on
it's
something.
compliance approved. But
Mhm.
yeah, we can really see what's best fit for us and for our clients. And yeah, being independent's been nice with that because we have different resources. I can have Zach talk about the tax planning one, but
Mhm.
I think that's been one that's fairly new for clients to see, but it brings tax planning into the investment management side,
Yeah.
and
It's a big
it's
thing.
been pretty cool. So
Yeah.
You guys don't do, like, in general, though. There's not, like, accountants there or anything.
We don't have a CPA or attorney, but we
Okay.
have those strategies. We know a lot about them, and so we really help our clients recognize them and help them kind of get right there to the finish line to where, you know, kind of you want all your professionals on the same page too. So
Yeah.
we kind of partner with our clients' professionals, whether it's CPA or attorney, to create a trust or whatever it is. So we're knowledgeable and have the software, but no, we don't have anybody on staff. Let
Yeah.
them take that liability.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of a different beast a little bit.
Yeah.
But no, being able to coordinate and everything with them, because, yeah, I mean, there's just so much to think about.
Yep.
It's crazy, especially once you have kids and if you
Mhm.
own businesses or anything like that.
Yeah.
I know, like, right now, I'm like, all right, I gotta get some of this figured out a little bit more in depth.
Well, I think so many people, you know, get caught up in life and kids and job, and it's like accumulate, and it's like, you know you're doing all the right things, but like sometimes having an official game plan or like goals in sight, or just kind of having a peace of mind, having that comfortability, I think is huge. And so one software we use, it's called eMoney, and so it's one that we did a lot of research on and picked for a variety of reasons, but we use that with clients, and it really takes a step back from the investment side of things and builds a foundation on just the planning side. It's like, okay, what do you have? Where are you trying to get? How are we going to get you there? You know, to make it pretty simple. So tons of, different strategies and things that we do within that. But it's really nice and gives clients a lot of peace of mind to just see everything and know if they're on track or know if they need to make changes. You know, sometimes people aren't on track. And it's like, if you want to retire at this point, you need to do, X, Y, and Z, and
Start
that's
setting aside some money here.
yeah. That's where our recommendations start to come in, and it just kind of gives, some credence to it and makes it even more real when clients can see that,
Yeah. Yeah, we deal. Man, we've tried so many different softwares in our industry, and it's like, seems like none of them like really hit the nail on the head as well as they could, and I know it can be a pain. So I totally get where you're coming from with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just switched over our whole CRM and invoicing and all that stuff, and it's been a headache.
Yeah,
switching it over.
That's so funny. Same thing this year. We tried a new CRM, and it's great, but I don't think we realized the undertaking we were getting ourselves into.
It's
It
a lot
is
to set up.
It is.
I
It is.
basically put one person on it for
Yeah.
like months just to get it set up
Yep.
properly, and we're still switching things over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a Zoom call on it yesterday, so we're just really trying to dial in.
Continue to-
Make sure.
Can you share which one you're using? or
Yeah,
is it-
it's called Wealthbox.
Oh, okay.
And so
it's
it's
like an industry CRM.
right,
Yeah.
right. And it's very customizable and it's great, and we're still all in, and we better be for the amount of work we put into it. But it's just a lot because we're blessed to have a lot of clients. So it's like getting all of that into the
Yeah.
system, creating workflows and processes, and we know it's going to be well worth it, all the time and effort we're putting into
Yeah.
it. But just
During that process, you're like, "Damn it! Should I have switched? This is terrible."
Yeah.
our ops team is amazing though. They're the
Yeah.
ones that are doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and
Yeah.
thank God for them.
Yeah, they're getting it sorted out.
Yeah.
But no, as advisors too, like what I've learned, organization is just key. And I think with eMoney, that financial
Absolutely.
planning, technology we use, especially like with business owners, you're so busy trying to run your own business and, your own family. That's where, you could come into us and, we'll help organize that all into one simple
Mhm.
plan that even the client can log into and see it. So
Yeah,
Just
that's
kinda
cool.
nice.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice being able to keep an eye on all that stuff, or at least have
Yeah.
something to visually see.
yeah.
Sure.
So essentially, you can plug in like, do you like attach all your accounts to it so you can see like your
Mhm.
like an overall picture is what you're
Yep.
saying? Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
cool.
Yeah.
Whether we're managing it or not, which is great for us because sometimes we'll manage this account, but we don't know what's going on outside, and that's not really doing the client any
Right. You don't
justice,
have, you don't
right?
have the full picture.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So it's very beneficial.
Yeah.
Most of our clients use it, and the ones that do love it.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's got like a vault feature too. So if a client creates a trust, you want to put your trust document inside the vault.
Cool.
They can get to that, or if something happens to them, and it happens a lot, you have a family member pass away, and you're like, what do I do? Where do I start? Well, with this plan that we help put, we can help the beneficiaries really check all those boxes and make that transition a lot more seamless.
See where everything is.
Yeah. Yeah. What's going
damn,
on?
He had accounts everywhere. I don't know about any of these. Wife, why has he got $100,000 in this account? What's going on here?
It's usually it's spouse. Yeah. You're like, if I pass, she'll know exactly where everything is.
I've been again trying to think about some of that and do some of that, because I'm like, God, I can't imagine the burden that it would be on my wife.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If something happened to me, to try to figure everything out. So I've been slowly trying to do that and just organize things and create a way. I was reading this thing, and it was like what'd they call it, a green box? They said make a green box or something. It's basically like something that has everything in it with like directions on what to do, where stuff is, like so it's easy as possible.
Like in emergency, break the glass here.
Pull this code that's tattooed under my No, it's that's cool though. So do you guys with financial advising, do you guys like all specialize in something different, or is it just overall financial advising, or how's that work?
I think some advisors have a bit of a niche, but overall, you're trying to be, in my opinion, to be the best advisor possible. You need to one, stay educated, knowledgeable, so you're providing the best advice for the client. And so overall, I would say we're all kind of doing, I wouldn't say one advisor has one specialty over another. It's just more, software, for instance. It's like if we're all kind of using that software, then we're all able to help our practice or help our clients through that. Because we want to specialize in it and do it because we're all, and I think that's back to the culture thing, we're all obviously putting our clients first, but we're all keeping that mentality and trying to help each other. The rising tide lifts all boats kind of mantra is the kind of the thought on that. So,
for sure.
I don't know, Connor, if you...
No, I mean, I have my CFP license or certified financial planner.
Okay.
So, that's kind of like a CPA. They're going through different courses and big test. So I did that probably in 2020 is when I finished that. Actually, it's March 12th of 2020, the day of the test. And
nice.
It's one of the worst market days, probably
a while.
Right when COVID happened. But yeah, that was good to get just because it does help you become more of a holistic planner. I can touch the estate side, the tax side, insurance, retirement planning. So that just helped really develop me as an advisor and make me better for my clients as well.
Yeah, so, that's awesome. Yeah. So taking that test, would you have considered it more of like a formality? Like, did you feel like I mean, obviously you have to know it to take the test, but there's so many things I feel like that's like, all right, I already know all this stuff. Like I was lucky that, I mean, I guess lucky is not the word, but like when I went to college, like I pretty much knew everything because it was all stuff I was interested in. You know what I mean? Like I knew how to use Photoshop. I knew how to do webs. There was not a lot that I actually learned in college. It was more just checking the boxes to get through it, which made it easy for me. Made college a little easy. It was an expensive party, but
no, the test had me sweating. So it was tough, but
I bet.
They make you work for the.
Have they ever like, I know, like from what I've heard, like the CPA test is like crazy. Is it on that level, you think? Or
yeah, it's pretty
obviously
similar.
You haven't taken the CPA, but
the CPA, my wife's a CPA actually.
Oh, okay.
So
There you go.
We're both numbers people, but she's very smart too. But it's completely different stuff than what we're doing. However, I think the CPA is multiple exams, if I'm not mistaken, where the CFP, I think they used to, but now it's all consolidated into like one, I think 4 or 6 hour test it might have been.
Gotcha.
So just like
one
long day. Yeah.
Can you imagine? I know when we bring on content video people, one of the things I'm like, all right, I need you guys to get your drone license. And it's kind of like, sorry, you gotta go take a test to get. I know it's probably been a few years.
Yeah.
And it's not the easiest thing either. Ryan's been going through it, and it's so ridiculous. Again, talking about like something that's just like a formality, but it's like the stuff they make you learn is like stuff you'd learn if you were becoming an actual pilot. Like,
really?
I don't need to know the weather patterns. How about if it's raining, I don't fly my drone? You know what I mean? It's like,
or if it's windy, crazy. I kind of know that. I'm not gonna.
The drone tells you, hey, it's too windy, land.
Yeah, they must be pairing you up with like people at Amazon or somewhere bigger that's actually going to be flying packages to your house or something like that.
I don't know. It's crazy, some of that stuff. So that's just kind of interesting.
A lot of it depends on the technology within the drone, right? How nice they are. I'm sure it's a lot easier to fly too, right?
Yeah. The DJI basically has the market on lock. They make the best stuff. It's kind of crazy though, because there's been a lot of like political stuff around them lately, because people are flying these drones all over the country. Like enterprises are using them, you know what I mean, for big projects and infrastructure. But it's like all this information. They're like, is it going to China? What's going on here? You know what I mean? So there's been some like there's been talks about outlawing them, which is interesting. And it's like, it would suck for us because that's like literally the best company. They make the best drones at a fairly affordable price. But I understand like they probably do see a lot of sensitive stuff, but you got Google Earth, right?
Yeah, you can do the same thing.
So I don't know. I guess maybe it's just so up to date, or they're collecting more data or something.
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but it's pretty interesting. So I'm sure I know in your guys' industry, there's a lot of things you can say, not say, talk about. So I have random questions just because I think they're interesting. But obviously, if you can't really say anything about them, feel free to not to. What are your thoughts on Bitcoin?
Oh, we can have an opinion on anything. If it's easy.
I don't know. Well, we've talked. With social media, there's like, all right, there's only so much stuff we could post. We've worked with financial people before, and it's like,
I wouldn't say we recommend it at all. It's one of those, very fine line in terms of what some people think or don't think about it. It's a very strong opinion sometimes one way or another.
Yeah.
Most clients are, catch wind of it from CNBC or something like that. That's where their questions kind of come from it. And so they've rarely done a lot of homework, and a lot of times because of the volatility, we kind of shy away from it because a lot of times clients don't realize the risk they're taking. And that's part of our job, is making them understand it and protecting them. So, long term, just personally, I own some myself, but it's not a huge percentage of my overall portfolio at all.
Right.
It's more because I was interested in it and continue to be interested in it. You know what I mean?
It is interesting.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing.
It is. And the alts and all the, it's, I don't know. It's been around this long. The people that said it's just going to go away, I don't think that's the case as of right now.
The buzz is still pretty strong.
Yeah.
And now they have like the ETF, like that's actually
ETFs,
buy into
prices,
it, like
on
the stock market.
If anything, the market has kind of continued to embrace it with these. Initially, you could invest in like baskets, but you weren't able to get the true price of where it was trading at. Well, more recently, you can get the spot Bitcoin. So like basically, when you buy this particular investment, you're getting more accurate number of where it's actually trading that day. So
yeah.
Connor's whole portfolio is in Bitcoin. So.
No, I mess with it very little.
That's
kind of like
it's just such a new thing, and being able to invest in it on the stock market, it's kind of an interesting
it's
thing.
Here to stay. I still don't understand the monetary side of it, because like it's volatile. In 2022, it was down over 70% in 1 year. So if you're using that as a monetary system, how are you going to buy something?
Right.
If it goes down 70%, I don't understand all that. But
yeah, it's weird because it's like they don't. You can. There's some places you could buy stuff using it.
Right.
And there's whole countries now based around it. But
like
El Salvador,
you're not like really buying it or using it to buy stuff regularly. I guess you don't really use gold to buy stuff regularly either. But like, here's my diamonds. What can we trade for here?
Yeah, I think it's here to stay. But yeah, like Connor said, when I get it's store of value, to an extent, and it's there's some pros in terms of not being regulated. There's no entity kind of able to like our monetary system, right, where they pump money into the system, or they're able to influence the currency, but sometimes that's kind of a positive. You know what I mean? So when it's not able to drop 70%, somebody's able to step in. So I get some of the pros, but I think the cons with the volatility kind of keep it from being more of a currency that you can buy things with. I don't see that changing anytime soon, but who knows?
It's tough because it's like one of the main benefits of it is it's like not regulated very much, but for it to really take off, it's going to have to be regulated.
Yeah, there needs a level of regulation. Yeah.
And if that ever happens, like that's when it'll get interesting, I guess.
For sure.
It could go one way or the other, tank or take off.
Yep.
But yeah, no, that's yeah. How about Tesla? I'm just talking to you things about them. I'm not looking for.
You're not biased at all, right? Yeah.
No, I'm just curious. Now that company specifically is very interesting. So I've talked to a lot of financial advisors, asking what they think about it, and they're like, they don't like it for one reason or another. But in my head, I'm like, I feel like they don't understand what the company is.
Right.
Like I'm like, it's not a car company.
It's a disruptive company.
It's a technology data company, and the amount of data they have from their cars is like hundreds of millions, if not billions now, miles of driving. Like, it's just bizarre.
Yep. There's a reason Facebook is free, right? It's just getting data. It's getting information. I mean, it's similar. And so if you don't understand that, you probably shouldn't be investing in it. And so cars are cool. They're great, but it's not a car company at all, in my opinion. I mean, it's tech. It's a gigafactory. It's solar. I mean, he bought his cousin's Solar City. He bought that. There's so many other things going on. You almost got to know you're buying Elon Musk, right? When you buy that company.
That's part of the risk too, if something happens to him.
Yeah, no, 100%.
I dread that. I'm like, God damn, I hope he's up this security with all this political stuff he's been talking about lately. Twitter
I know they got their autonomous taxi event coming up in October.
That'll be interesting.
So, it's very cool to see that stuff. And then they have their, is it Optimus? Is their robot? Optimus is their new robots. And that could be a whole new business worth trillions of dollars in market cap. So it's definitely a disruptive company. They are profitable though. So you can invest in them technically through an S&P 500 index fund.
Right.
So you could get exposure through that instead of just wanting to hold the stock, which is a roller coaster in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
that's what I primarily do right now is
index funds.
Yeah, it's like a Vanguard that basically tracks the S&P 500. Just because I haven't made any like full decisions like on what I'm doing with everything, so just something right now.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I just put it in there, kind of tracks the S&P 500. I read who was it by? Was it by Tony Robbins? I don't know. It was a basic like investment book one time, and it was just interesting. And it was he interviewed all these people like Warren Buffett, like all these big financial people, and they're basically like, well, if you do that, I mean, you're basically just betting on America, and so far we've won. It's kind of iffy right now.
We should continue to win. Now we use those a lot. We use baskets. I would say our value comes in definitely on the planning side and helping clients understand the amount of risk they want to take, thinking long term, but also we'll make changes within portfolios and still use those index funds, right? So whether it's right now with interest rates kind of tracking down, there's potential that some of these fixed income funds should appreciate. It's like a seesaw, right? Rates go down, bond values go up. So, some clients that are maybe in a money market where rates are starting to tick down or getting less interest there, we pivot over to a fixed income fund where they maybe make a little bit more, maybe get some appreciation by the drop in interest rates. So just one example of some of the value we bring, but we definitely use some of those index funds as well. But we're kind of still behind the scenes making changes within those funds that we're still trying to add value to the client's accounts.
Do you get many people that like come in like, I want this, because a lot of times the gambling on a specific stock, it's a little bit more of a gamble. Do you get a lot of clients that are like, I want this stock? Or is it a lot of just broader?
I would say there's few of those people. I would say a lot of our clients are built into the planning and mostly using those index funds that we manage, just because we're looking longer term. And when you're investing in stocks, it is a gamble. And we have software and technology and research, but at the same time, shorter term investment, the probability of success is much lower than if you have a 5 or 10 year time horizon in an index fund. You're probably going to outperform.
So
it's
that's kind of what I do right now. I have my retirement that I'm like playing it safe with, you know what I mean? But then over here, I'm like, here's the money I kind of gamble with.
Yep. Yeah. Pick and choose.
Yeah.
No, there's definitely a handful, and it makes it interesting. There's some that maybe have sentimental value to. Somebody inherits an account that maybe they want to keep a portion. So we're able to customize portfolios for clients too. But yeah, overall, if they're pretty hands off, then we're looking more on the index side of things.
Yeah. Do you find that most clients are like, all right, you guys just make me some money?
Fortunately, we're very blessed with our clients. I mean, overall, I would say majority, yes. Now, we hold ourselves accountable and make sure we're in front of them and show them so they know that too.
Keep providing, showing them your value.
Exactly. But once they know that and they've already trust us if we're working for them, and so obviously those are the best clients too, because they become more like friends and family. You know what I mean? We just had our client appreciation event a few weeks ago, and the best turnout ever. It's at our location over there on 3330 Ginger Creek.
Yeah,
and
I think I saw your video.
Yeah, man, it was great turnout. Couldn't have been luckier with the weather. Weather was perfect.
Oh
but
my God, the weather's been. It was just recently?
Oh yeah, it was before the rain. Yeah. It was perfect though, and it's just cool to see all the clients. Some newer than others, but again, like friends and family. You know, so.
Yeah, it's nice. We were talking about kind of the culture and everything, and we've been working on that more here. And one of the things you're talking about, like all rising tide raises all ships. We kind of came up with our slogan, I guess you could say now, that's let's grow together.
Love that.
Because what we've found is that the more we can help our clients grow, then we just grow right along with them.
Oh yeah.
That we retain them as a client, and potentially they spend more, and we can just kind of grow right along with them.
Yep.
So we've been really working that into our marketing and branding more, and I think it's been good.
Yeah, make some advocates too. They're easy referral.
Yeah.
Like, of course, that's my guy. Of course, I'm gonna refer.
So. Obviously we're a marketing company, so I'm always curious of what types of things that other companies do when it comes to marketing. How do you guys tend to focus on getting? Now, obviously, you probably get a lot of referrals, stuff like that. But outside of that, what kind of marketing do you guys do? Anything?
Yeah. I would say first and foremost, being in the industry, we have a lot of compliance.
I know
restrictions,
it's a challenge.
Approvals, but I think we're on the forefront in terms of an independent company.
I see you write articles and stuff on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
a decent amount.
Yep, I write articles for subscribers on there. We have Facebook, LinkedIn, great website with Broadway Graham, but I think we do a good job of really pushing our social media. We have over 1,000 followers on our page, which for a financial advising company I think is pretty strong. Yeah. So we try and stay on the forefront, and we've noticed too, videos tend to do very well, which I'm sure you see that as well.
Yeah. I mean, especially if people are in them, like, you talk about your customer appreciation part. If people are in it, they're like, oh yeah, let's share that video. Man.
Yeah, 100%. So. Yeah, it's tough sometimes to make finance sexy, right? So we're trying to obviously be informative on some things like the blogs and the commentary, and we try to make it short, sweet, and worth clients' time to see. So a lot of times that's going back to video or a chart or a picture of something. We just did a seminar on the election coming up, right? Didn't take any Q&A. It was not in person because for the obvious reasons, but it was just actually
talking about like what you think the markets will do one way or the other.
Exactly, and based on historical markets, and a lot of times it's nothing, or a lot of times it goes up. You know what I mean? Because people think like doom and gloom if their person they vote for doesn't get in, and of course that could happen. We're not forecasting, but at the same time, if you look at historical markets, which we've had enough to make that have some you know what I mean? So there's of course going to be some volatility, but overall usually we do well getting through an election. So
seems like right after maybe there's like a
sometimes
like I feel like
certain
when,
sectors.
I feel like when Trump got in the first time, I feel like the stock market did really good like right afterwards.
Yeah. It was, and then a lot of people like taking sectors into consideration think, well, Trump is pro oil.
Yeah.
So oil must go up. Well, actually it was the exact opposite. Oil went down because Trump, and not getting political, just giving facts, that is big on drilling. And so jobs and drilling. Well, basic economy, more supply, more oil, same demand means that the prices of oil are going down.
Right.
You know what I mean? So oil stocks didn't do well at all. So it just goes as an example to show that sometimes the general consensus is not always accurate, right? And overall, if you just stay with your plan, not overreact one way or another, you're going to be just fine.
Yeah.
But that seminar was just one way, one informative.
That's a good idea. That was one thing I had in my head to potentially bring up.
Yeah, it's on everybody's mind right now, and we just try to calm. We know there's going to be volatility, though. We just got to keep them calm, stick to the plan.
Yeah, the big thing, we try and manage the emotions, right? Because longer term, the market is going to be a roller coaster. So if we can manage you, like, for example, in 2022 was a true bear market. The S&P 500 was down over 20% at one point in time. So that's where we kind of come in with, either social media or email to our clients, just showing historical data, stuff that they can look and say, oh, okay, we've been through this before. Let's just ride it out.
Yeah,
but
don't get scared.
Yeah. So
I love Warren Buffett's be greedy when others are fearful and be fearful when others are greedy.
For sure. Yep. Blood in the streets. That's when you should be buying.
Yeah. I try to keep that in mind a little bit, even though it's scary.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Yeah. When it hurts your stomach to buy,
usually
that's probably a good buy.
Yeah.
So.
I know. I mentioned I like Tesla. It's kind of weird because with the political situation, I feel like because usually you would be like, all right, if Democrats win, that's going to be good because it's electric and this and that. But now he's like endorsed Trump, so it's like, fuck, are they going to come after him now if he win? Like, I feel like we're in a weird situation either way.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yep.
That's it's definitely a different thing nowadays, I feel like, than it used to be.
Yeah. It's almost like so much information, so people just have it at their fingertips, which not always a bad thing as long as it's facts, right? So
that's the thing, you have to take the time to actually check if
you
see something and you're like, all right, now I have to go see if this is true.
For sure.
Spend time researching. And most people don't have time to do that.
No.
We're all busy. Come on, man. That's why we got people running our finances. It's interesting though, you talk about earlier you mentioned, handling that stuff for, a lot of business owners are busy, stuff like that.
Sure.
And that's honestly the same where our business came from. Is when we first got started, I thought I was just going to be making videos for people because I was like, I can get them on like a monthly video plan and just create videos. But then I would start doing them for people and be like, well, what do I do with this video? I'm like, well, post it to your social media. Well, how do I do that? And then it was like they either didn't have time, didn't know how, or just didn't want to.
Right.
Yep.
And that's kind of, I was like, shit, they need help with everything.
Yeah.
So that's where we kind of pivoted into full service packages.
Sure.
That's awesome.
It's been interesting, that's for sure.
Yeah. So you're the partner. You're looking, you do full gamut, right? In terms of a marketing perspective for most.
Yes. So we say you get a whole team of digital marketing experts for less than the cost of employee is what our kind of little pitch is, I guess.
Yeah.
So we have different plans that like you can sign up for based on what you're looking for, but we've actually honed those in a lot more in the last year. And we kind of have like 6 core plans. One includes a website and the other one's, just solely digital focused if someone already has a good website and they don't want us to keep it up to date. But we've done that based on, years of experience now and what we, when we've lost a client, it hasn't happened a lot, but when we've lost a client, it's like, well, why'd we lose them? And, a lot of times it was they weren't getting the results they needed, but they had a shitty website and we've been trying to get them to make one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
only
like,
so much you can do.
Yeah. And you got to have a good website to convert most of the time, or to at least look professional. And could you imagine someone came to your website and it looked like crap and they're like, I don't think I want to give you my millions of dollars. Your website's not good.
Yeah. You don't want to point them to something that's not great.
Yeah. So yeah, one line includes a website just for people that, we feel need it. But you said at one point earlier, you said you don't turn down people very often, but that means you have before. Was there particular reasons that's happened? Like us, we have turned down clients because, they're not taking a suggestion. For example, the website, like you have to have a website or maybe they don't have the budget and we're like,
Yep.
well, this is where you need to be at. Like, I can't. Like,
Yep.
I could take your money and do something small, but then it just looks bad for me because you're not going to get results. So,
Right.
you know what I mean? I'm like, how about you just save that for a couple months and then let's do something that's actually going to have an impact.
Absolutely. That's kind of where we're at. I mean, we don't necessarily have an asset minimum, but if somebody comes to us with an amount of money and we think it would make sense, maybe in a Vanguard or something like that, or something that they can do on their own, we will just kind of guide them. Because again, we want to add value, right? But yeah, for us, it's more, when we're doing our discovery meetings or our intro meetings with clients with a prospect, to see if they're going to be a good fit. It's not just, are we a good fit for them? It's, are they a good fit for us? And so for us, 3As, a part of those is advocacy, right? So we want them to be all in on our process to an extent. Some are in more than others, but if we can't add value, or if we don't feel like they're going to listen to ideas or recommendations, we don't want to take their money then. You know what I mean? So,
because if their portfolio does bad, then it looks bad on you because they're not taking
the
advice.
Our advice. Yeah. And actually, when we came over and opened our doors from Broadway Graham, there were some, we called most of our clients, because going back to the risk part of it, no guarantee our clients come. But fortunately, we were able to bring over 95% of the clients that we called.
Nice.
But there were some that, maybe we just thought, you know what, it'll be fine if they just stay there. And nothing negative. It's just going back to, are you a good fit for us? Because we want to be a good fit for you.
Right.
So we take that. Everybody wants to enjoy their job. You don't want to cringe when somebody calls because you got to answer the phone, right? And so that goes back to, it's a blessing to have great clients that are like friends and family.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
yeah, definitely. So what's on the horizons for Broadway Graham?
Yeah, I tell you what, we have one new advisor came over in the last 6 weeks or so. Another advisor that's right on the cusp. He's kind of out of town, but can't give any details on that stuff. But we're just continuing to grow, man. We're one advisor we brought on is actually out of Studio City, California. Works out of his home, but we're able to provide support, infrastructure. He kind of tucked under our name, and so. We're just looking to grow, but we want like-minded people that appreciate our culture and believe in obviously what we're doing and put the clients first, right? I mean, so we're not just trying to have lots of quantity. Quality is a huge part of it with the advisors that we're bringing on. So very fortunate for the people that have come over and continue to grow from there.
Yeah. Very nice.
Just hopefully we keep growing our brand too in town, being about 5 years in. So. I know we're involved in Local First and the Chamber, so just getting to know all the other business owners and make sure they recognize our name, since we are, fairly new and independent local company here.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. So how did, speaking of Local First, how did you get involved with Local First?
Yeah, I think the president, Jake Rourke, reached out. Good friends with Aaron Hogan as well. So just gave me the opportunity to come on board, and it's been fun. I've been there for about a year now, and we have a good, diverse group of board members, learning from different business owners. And ultimately, I don't know, I like the model of it. I like shopping local. I like supporting people we know, business owners we know. There's truly nothing better. So, and I know you guys jumped on to
it's
add
been
support,
awesome getting to help out this year.
So yeah, it's been fun because, I think some of the videos we're doing on there and everything really makes a difference. Like that Wealth Juice, I know you love using them.
Yeah.
I think that you guys had done a video with the owner there.
Yeah, Spotlight Heidi.
Wealthy
Juice.
Yeah. Man, they're great.
Yeah, so like stuff like that, I think I hadn't heard about their business till that video, to be honest, even though I was on the board. But after I saw that, I was, I'm pretty active. I like playing soccer, running, so it kind of fit for me. So
it's fun hearing stories, you know what I mean, and that's honestly why I do this podcast. I just love hearing how things got started or people got to where they are. So it's it's been fun working with you guys. The event, I guess I don't know if we'll get this posted today or not, but in case it is posted today, there is an event tonight, Local First at Nob Hill.
Yeah, nice.
What is it, at 4:30?
4:30. It's the annual meeting. So
meeting.
Yeah.
They got a nice place out there. You've been out to Nob Hill's place?
So I'm looking forward
it's nice.
to it.
They just had a chamber event few weeks ago.
Okay.
And I was out there, but yeah, it'll be a nice night for that.
Yeah, up by the airport, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a beautiful spot.
That'd be perfect.
Trying to think if there's anything I missed. I'm just rattling my head I had, some other questions I was thinking about, but anything that I'm not thinking about with some of the stuff you guys do? Did we go over?
I think we've hit on a lot.
Yeah.
It's good. Great.
Yeah, just if anyone ever has questions, feel free to reach out. We're
Yeah.
open
Best way to
book
find you, just Broadway Graham.
Yeah, BGWealthPartners.com.
BGWealthPartners.
Or you can give us a call. Our office is, where home plate is, across the street, about 100 yards.
Yeah.
So
right back there on the west side.
Yeah.
You still got the? Did you guys move your training? The
baseball
training.
Yeah.
Facility?
So that was the one part of the building.
The place out on
North Peoria Road.
Yeah.
Yep. So it started in the one part of the building at BG that was not renovated. We need that space for offices. I had to move it, and so bought that. It was the old Fishman.
Yeah, Fishman Pet Center.
And then, man, it was like some homeopathic witchcraft thing after that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember the name.
I forgot.
I know what you're talking about that. I drive by it every day. So
Oh, okay.
Going to Sherman's. So.
Yeah. We turned it into just gutted that thing, put in nets and 6 cages and indoor baseball facility. So 5T player lab. But
that's cool.
Yeah.
It's probably nice to have a little more space.
It is.
So that's where you built you said the U kind of, so you turned all that into office space.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, that was the original intention, and we thought it'd be a few years out, but we just continuing to grow and very blessed from that aspect and needed the space. So let's do it. Kim took care of it.
She's good at that.
Yeah.
We've kind of been a little bit the same way. When I was getting this building, I was like, oh yeah, we'll be good for a long time. Now it's been, I think we moved almost 3 years ago exactly next month.
Wow. Congrats.
From the garage next door. But now like our desks are maxed out. So I either have to start putting desks somewhere else.
Right.
Figuring out what's next.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah. I mean, we got a little bit of room still to grow before we'll have to do that. Been mapping that out. It's weird trying to plan for that, you know what I mean? Growth and when to hire and when to bring people on. I'm sure it's a little bit different with you guys, but
similar, risk reward, right? You don't want to plan for it and not happen. I mean, you got to take the risk though, because the new people don't have a place to go.
Yeah. And it's tough too, because you don't want to sacrifice customer service. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That was one thing I was going to ask about. So, I sit on the board of the Central Illinois Customer Service Association, and we've been kind of refining some of our customer service process and making sure clients feel good about everything, and then, maintaining them and all that stuff. Is there any unique things that you guys do from a customer service standpoint that's kind of noteworthy? That
I think the main point is touches, I guess is what we'll say. But, on the advisor-client relationship, whether it's quarterly phone calls or semi-annually meetings. But then on the whole Broadway Graham side, the touches, for example, was that Zoom call last week with the election coming up. We have an estate planning seminar coming up, the client appreciation party. So we're just trying to make sure we get touch points, I would say, overall.
Yeah, we have advisors running their own practices, but we also have BG as kind of the glue that brings everybody together, right? And so BG as a whole has processes because of support, while they're able to customize how an advisor may want to do things. They want to make sure every advisor, every client gets white glove service, right? So when you walk in, you're offered something to drink. What can you do? I mean, it's all very, putting the client first, and that comes back to the advisor's mentality anyway. We also do a few things like around Valentine's Day for our widows. We'll do, a rose and a cookie, things like that. So we definitely try to put the client first and foremost, but it's not just financials. We realize that, we take care of that, but it's breaking it down. It's making sure the client knows that we take that very seriously, but we're able to help in all facets of their life. And again, it goes back to that friends and family thing. We don't want to be the stuffy office that come in and feel like you can't relax.
Yeah.
And so we took that into consideration, building out our offices. Most of our client meetings happen at a table with chairs around it, because we want to be on the same side, right? We didn't want to have the desk for, you're on the opposite side of the desk. We want to be on the same side. We're on the same team. We're a partner. So that kind of goes back to our culture and our thought with just relationships with clients.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's I just think about that a lot. 'Cause it's like, you want everyone to feel good. So it's like, what's that experience that they're having from when they walk in your door to, when they get reports or whatever it may be, like trying to provide a top-notch experience consistently. And it's a tough thing to do.
It
stay
is.
on top of and train people to do and get them to stay on top of it.
Yep.
But yeah, it's so important for sure.
Shout out to Alyssa at our front desk. She does a hell of a job. She really does. And it's not always easy, because she's been with us a little less than a year.
How many people?
Little over a year, excuse me.
How many people total you got?
So total, we're at 12. In that office, we're at 8.
Springfield?
Yeah, Springfield's 8.
Nice.
So, and she's kind of the gatekeeper, right? And so very important, but she's also a jack of all trades, because she's doing some, a little bit of marketing, trying to help advisors, client work, answering the phones, and backing up Kelly, Kelly is really the glue that keeps us all together. She's our senior operations manager that just makes sure everything runs as smoothly as possible. And they have client contact, but they are so good at what they do, and they just make clients feel like they're at home.
Nice.
And that's, as you were saying earlier, you want it to feel like that. It's just such a good thing. From when you walk in the door to the time you leave, you want to feel like it was just a great experience overall.
Yeah.
No matter what the market's doing.
Yeah.
So.
Especially when it's down.
Yeah.
The experience
Not always
a little
easy.
bit better.
So they're good. They're very good.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, we have just to throw it out there, shout out on this too, but we have a talk coming up at the beginning of October, the week of the 7th. There's it's National Customer Service Week. Huh. So on the 8th, the morning of the 8th at the Crown Plaza, we have he's known worldwide, but he's in the Speaker Hall of Fame, and his talk's going to kind of be on providing value in everything you do. So you guys are definitely welcome to come out to that. I'm not sure if you're members of SILSA or not, but great group.
Yeah,
we bring in a lot of high-end speakers.
October 8th?
Yeah.
Plaza? Okay.
Yeah, so,
what time?
I think it's 7:30 a.m. maybe.
Morning deal?
Right around,
okay.
Yeah, we usually do them in the morning,
cool.
so we can get to work after. But they're fun events. I love that group too.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting, the people that come in there.
Yeah.
Cool.
So awesome, man. Well, it was great having you guys.
Yeah.
After this, you can let me know how to make $1 million overnight. We'll keep that under the belt here. But,
we'll close it out there.
Yeah. So check out Broadway Graham. And thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.